Hi there. Read the disclaimer, please. Hi there, lovely individuals. Peepo Coin Channel. We are going to discuss XRP. We will discuss the cryptocurrency market and briefly discuss Elon Musk's new feature that uses some form of crypto technology. Let me clarify. Let's address the elephant in the room first, though. Correct. I lost some weight, so it's not me. However, October is finished. Correct. Furthermore, it wasn't the greatest month. In fact, it was the first October in the previous 6 years when XRP and Bitcoin were red. We will briefly discuss that as well as what to expect in November. At the end of this month, I have a birthday. So, perhaps. Oh, there will be some good news. I hope you enjoyed your Halloween and avoided overindulging in candy. I only ask that you smile at me so that I can radiate positive energy. You should hit the like button, especially since it's Saturday and Saturday likes are the best. The time to click it is now. Well, and as always, let's get started. Don't forget about financial guidance. Always conduct your own research before making an investment. Right now, the price of XRP is $2.05, 2.5. Correct. At that point, XRP is essentially on par with the rest of the market. However, there are some major players in the cryptocurrency bubbles, right? We occasionally witness large movements like these. In the market before a possible significant change, although it doesn't happen every time, I have noticed that this has happened in the past when assets start moving suddenly and have significant valuations without any significant news. Well, then that's what occurs. The fact that we witnessed a sell-off is another issue that doesn't really worry me. It wasn't horrible news for the 3 days leading up to yesterday, which was a green day. In fact, it was fantastic news. What might be going on if you saw my video from yesterday and my market theory? Because of this day, we might have a major player who is closing some jobs, that they suffered severe harm, or perhaps even the sell-off that took place here. For instance, their creditors were saying, hey, we're going to give you 2 weeks maybe. So they had to close some positions. Additionally, the stock market was doing well throughout the end of that 2-week period, while the cryptocurrency market was selling off. That's my theory, isn't it? That some of them are large, firm, or anything. Suffered severe injuries on October 10th, 10 and 10. Creditors gave them 2 weeks, and at the end of that week, they began liquidating assets to somewhat offset their losses. That is my hypothesis as to why we witnessed that sell-off. We can observe a dip here, right? And you can see that your XRP falls short of expectations with a minus 11. 1 month is shown in the monthly charts. And, well, you see, what a ridiculous monthly candle red. But it wasn't just XRP. Bitcoin, which has traditionally done well, was also red in October. The color of Ethereum was red. It was a month when everyone was red. Therefore, I don't give it too much thought. Naturally, if we're doing a monthly summary of the circumstances that we encountered here, this October 10th is the date. The sell-off at 10:10 was not expected. It was unusual. The occurrence was a black swan. Furthermore, we must always be prepared for those kinds of occurrences and acts. It didn't truly affect you if you had been in your job for a long time, but many others were impacted by this circumstance. Once more, we must evaluate the possibility that such events may occur. All right, very, very crucial to keep in mind. Additionally, I would want to remind you that I would never message you on social media to ask you to send me money or sign up for anything. They are con artists. I'm not messaging you on Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, or TikTok. I'm not like that. All right, be extremely cautious out there, please. Right now, the email list is the only thing I've begun. By the way, you can register if you're interested. Additionally, I am now providing the AV Wonderful Indicator. People who sign up through my referrals to my partners will receive the 1348 indicator as a gift. Well, you can complete the second section of the form if it interests you. Simply put an A on the exchange. Values if you're not interested. All right, and that way, in case something goes wrong, there have been a lot of pranks lately. I was on a week-long vacation that I didn't want to be on. I can get in touch with you. Well, we can have a conversation and I can assure you that everything is fine. Well, don't worry. I'm trying to be much more cautious now, but this is the case. As you may have noticed, the thumbnails and titles have become a little more conservative lately. It might have an impact on how many views each video receives, but, well, better safe than sorry, isn't it? We now have 3 months, so we must exercise extreme caution. Alright, thus, it will be intriguing to observe what occurs once more. Well, these are the channel's partners. I will thus receive a commission if you use my link to sign up. Additionally, using mine rather than someone else's benefits the channel, right? This is helpful to me if we do need to take another vacation. Alright, therefore, the URL is in the description below if you're interested. Of course, you also have the email list. The XRP ETFs have been the subject of a lot of discussion lately, correct? Solana ETFs, Litecoin ETFs, and HBAR ETFs all went live as a result. However, what transpired with the XRP ETF and why? Why didn't they submit the particular document that was required to go live during the government shutdown? Why didn't it occur? Very odd. I have no idea why. However, they are making changes. The XRPS1 applications of Bitwise and VanEck have been updated. Additionally, Eric gave us an update here. Bitwise just revised its XRP ETF registration to include exchange, New York Stock Exchange, and fee of 0.34%, which are usually the last items to tick, according to Eric from Bloomberg. The Fourth Amendment, we're drawing nearer, and you can see James from Bloomberg as well. If you're interested in ETF coverage, those are the two men, Eric and James. Eleanor is excellent as well. Well, Bitwise joins the team of issuers, invests in VanEck, and may introduce cryptocurrency products in November. In the past, we had Canary files for XRP and Fidelity, and Canary Funds files for Solana in this manner. It will be interesting to observe the outcome of this. Although nothing is certain, it appears quite likely that XRP ETFs will be released in the upcoming weeks. Well, and I am aware that many people have been anticipating it. Once more, we are unsure of how that may impact XRP's price. Many people are saying, oh, it's going to be fantastic, isn't it? Recall that the initial Ethereum ETFs weren't all that good. So far, Bitcoin, Solana, HBR, and Litecoin haven't performed well. Yes, however, HBAR was the only one that might have made the biggest move there, according to the press, right? When the news broke, I believe it was about 15%, but it may have been as high as 20%. Since then, it has somewhat decreased. Once more, though, this might be good news in the long run. At first, when the ETFs are released, it's not like people are queuing at the door and pleading for XRP ETFs. That's not occurring, in my opinion. Correct. So, we must use extreme caution. Even when the news is released, there may be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing going on at that time. I appreciate you watching. Next time, I hope to see you, and see you later, like I always say.